Hello there, my friends, and welcome to Flourish Writers. I'm Mindy Kiker. Together with Jennifer Kokert, we want to see you dream, write, and publish that story inside you. That's why we've gathered top professionals in the publishing and marketing industry. And right here with us, I have a good friend and colleague who began her self-publishing journey by writing a legacy project, and the Little Labradoodle series was born. She loved self-publishing so much that she created Little Labradoodle Publishing. Her flagship program has helped hundreds of students go from a completed manuscript to a self-published book. So if you are curious about all the things, tech tools that authors need to know to get their message out onto the internet and into people's hands, April Cox is our girl. Welcome to Flourish Writers, April.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, Mindy. Love it. I love being with you.
We do too. And when I was chatting to you about all the things that you were going to share with us today, I was like, okay, ladies and gents, hold on to your seat, because if you're one of those writers who got into the writing life and then felt besieged by all this new vocabulary, all these crazy tech requirements, all the stuff, the website, the email, the social media, the getting the book onto KDP and Amazon and wherever else. And you thought, okay, I just can't. Somebody stop this insane, crazy merry-go-round and let me off, because this is not what I signed up for. Yes. April to the rescue.
I've always been a techie. My background is as a coder. I was a web developer out of college, and then a project manager. And so I love technology, and it comes really easy to me. But I have coached many authors who just are not there. But there is hope. I had one woman who's in her 80s. Absolutely love her. And she said, I'm not a technology is not my friend. And after working with me for probably about 6 months or so, she's in there, she's uploading her own books. She's doing her own keyword updates. She is actually managing her own Amazon ads. She's amazing. And she's in her 80s, and now she's ready to launch book 2. And she didn't even need me to help her upload it. So there is hope for you. You can do this. And if you can't, I'm going to share, where you can go to get help. That's going to make it easier for you. Because some people just say, I just want to write, and I want to know who I can trust or what I should pay if I'm hiring somebody else to do it. So we'll go over all those things today.
Yeah. So you are going to walk away from this talk equipped either to know what things you yourself might want to begin learning, or the kinds of things that you are going to seek support help with, either hiring, a virtual assistant or just connecting up with a designer. You're going to know what are the tools that I want my people or me to be using, about how much is that going to cost, and what should I be expecting with my budget and just my time frame to put this together, because you have a vision of the message that you want to share with the world, and we do not want the tech getting in your way. So strap up, put your seatbelt on. We are diving in to the tech, and you can tell that April is going to make it straightforward and easy so that you can understand what's going on, even if this is a new language for you. We are your interpreters.
Yes, that's the power of what we're doing here together. And reel me back in if I go off the deep end and get too my propeller hat starts spinning when I start talking about technology.
We can do this. We're so glad that you love it, because a lot of us need that encouragement, April.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start. Are we going to start out with websites? That's like your home base.
So I know that so many people that I work with and help with publishing get just really bogged down in thinking, I need to create this like huge website and they don't have any idea how to do it themselves, right? So I want to just put that to rest. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on a website. You should spend something. You should have at least a one-page site that you can use to be able to send people to. Why? Because you're going to want to have people sign up for your mailing list. We'll talk more about mailing lists later. You're going to want them to be able to find information about you and your books. And as they discover more information about you, they're going to be going and looking for a website. If they really truly love your book, they're going to want to see what else are you doing. And you'll have an opportunity also to allow people who want to write about you to go and see what kinds of things, like a press kit maybe they want to download or things like that. So you can use a website as a marketing tool. So how do you do that and not go broke doing it? First of all, one of the tools that I recommend is Wix. You can go to wix.com. You can get started with a free website. It's very wizard driven, very, fill out the information and just pick a template. And it can be a beautiful, quick and easy website if you are able to do things and don't get too frightened by going through that kind of wizard interface. Then you can do it with your Wix website. Now, one thing Wix may have had a bad name in the past being like, oh, it's only for simple websites. It's not really for something huge that it doesn't grow with you. That is not the case any longer. I use my website. I use Wix for my website. I have a shopping cart. I have mailing list. I have events planning. You can go register for events on my website. I have so much, like it does everything. And you can start with just a little, and then you can grow as you grow and you want more information. Now, if you are looking for somebody to help you with a Wix website, there are amazing folks out there that can do it for you. I have a few that I use on my team and I point my authors to. You can start with, for a one-page website, very simple setup, a couple $100. Most of the people average about $500 they spend for a 5 to 7 page website, and they host everything through Wix, and it gives them everything that they need. If somebody is quoting you thousands of dollars to build a Wix website, don't do it. There's no need for you to have to do that.
Awesome. That's super helpful. And does that $500 include any kind of branding stuff, or would you have already put that together with a designer?
Yeah. So the people that I work with they are designers, they're website designers, but because Wix is so easy, that $500 is really going for your branding. It's the stuff, they're taking things from your book. They might ask you about what fonts are used on your cover design. If you have a logo, then they can put the logo there together and make something just really beautiful. May I share a website? Let me see. I'll do a share here. Let's see. Okay, so if I go into Self-Pub Made Simple, this is my website. Mm-hmm. This is Wix, by the way. And I just want to show you some of the things that Wix natively does and you can very easily do. And when you're talking to people, do you see this thing right here that's just kind of flashing through? It's like a little slideshow. And you can set up the different things. So here it's going through the different parts of my website. I also have, you can see here, I'm going to zoom in, zoom in. So this whole menu, all you have to do is tell it, I want home and I want about, and it creates this dynamic drop-down menu, very simple. But if you're looking for just a one page, I'll show you. This is Pat Deanna, who just recently went to my little the little team that I've got working for her book. This is a sample of a very simple website. So they took the branding from Delmar the Dinky and the Animal Circus. By the way, I'll take a moment to plug. This is a new release for her. This is my 80-plus-year-old woman who's doing things for herself. And here, join my launch team, right?
Yeah.
We can click, look, that this is, by the way, a $200 site that we put together for her. And it was my gift to her because we've been working together for a while, and I just had my designer create it for her. So she has the ability to have people join her launch team. She has a little bit of information about Delmar the Dinky, and you can see they took all of the branding, even some of the fonts that talk about it, and she has a subscribe form here, so you can build a mailing list and get that information. And when you sign into a Wix account, you have the ability to go manage your website and design your page, but you also have a contact list. So as people subscribe here, you can see their contacts. You can also have the ability to email them and say, hey, you joined my launch team. This is what's happening. And you can do all that through the one platform.
So she's gathering those email addresses in Wix, and she's going to use Wix to generate her emails or her newsletters or that sort of thing.
Correct. And that is one option. And I know we're going to go dig into some other tools for emails, but that's one of the reasons why I love Wix so much. And I'm happy to, share and more information for people that are interested in learning more or have specific needs that they want to talk about. I'll give you a place where people can go and just set up a free consult with me as my gift to the folks that are attending your show and have more information that they want to be able to find out about, whether it's any of these technological things or just knowing like who should I go to. I certainly can recommend some resources.
Yeah, that's super helpful. Everyone you've ever recommended has turned out great, April.
Thank you.
And
it's very simple. This is not like looking at my website, right? I'm doing
all those pages.
Authors. I'm doing all the things. I give people downloads, contact. I've got a blog. Blogs come with Wix. It's just like, click off blog, and there you have all the blog functionality. I have a cart, and it does cart functionality as well. It's so simple to have all of this stuff together. So it will grow with you. Is all. Like, you might not want all of that stuff right now, but if you're thinking, gee, maybe besides Amazon, I would like to be able to sell things on my own website. If you have something that's simple and easy to use, then you can also create that shopping cart functionality so people can purchase a beautifully signed, author-signed book, and then you can fulfill them and cut Amazon out of the profits in that specific circumstance where you are selling to people and people that have discovered you in other ways. You can take advantage of that option as well.
Yeah, love it. And I can hear the question already from somebody who says, but I need to make a website and I don't have my book ready. I'm still working on it. I don't even have the cover. I'm still writing, but I want to already establish a presence online. And you would just create that one page about yourself and your message and saying the book is coming. It gives you a chance to go ahead and establish some author branding, and then you will come to book specific stuff when the book is ready.
Yeah. And that I would always say, and it's free to start. So why not just go to Wix.com and click get started and go through their wizard. You can pick some different styles that you like. And you may find even just putting a little information about you, you're an aspiring author, you've got a beautiful picture of yourself, get a professional photo of yourself, and just put something out there. And maybe you want to activate a blog. Maybe you want to start blogging about your journey as an author. People love that. They want to be brought along on your journey. And so use it as a way of bringing up some of that and connecting with people on a broader level.
Ooh, I love that. Is so practical, April. Okay, so getting yourself set up with your little quick website. Oh, do you recommend GoDaddy for purchasing a domain name if somebody doesn't have a domain yet?
I do. The other one that I would recommend is called Namecheap.
Okay.
Namecheap.com. That's another one. I use GoDaddy and I organize everything there, but I have had others that I've coached use Namecheap, and it's really good, and it's actually less expensive.
Okay. So either one will set you up and provide what you need when you're connecting to Wix.
Yes.
Okay. So that is a super easy way to get started. If you hire someone to help you, 500 would be your absolute top max. The one you just showed us was a $200 site.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
So that's usually within the ballpark for most of us, April.
And if you're able to just do that wizard interface, you're going to be able to put a lot of the text in there and everything that you want things to say. And then just hiring somebody who has some experience to go in and make it pretty isn't going to cost a lot of money, especially if you've got branding from your book.
And it's really important for you as an author to know how to get into your website and change things. So the nice thing about something like Wix is you can get in there, and then when you want to put a little update about something that's happening, or you get the book cover and you just want to put it on there, you're not always having to go through that other person. Or you just find a little typo in your about page. You think, oh, and you can just jump in there and fix it whenever you see it.
Very true. And if you incorporate things that are very dynamic, like you add a blog to your website, all you're doing is going in and posting a blog post, and then it shows on your website. So every blog post, your website is getting updated. You can also add social media, so you can actually say, show my Instagram right here. So as you're changing your Instagram and posting things, people see it maybe on your homepage. As they scroll down, they see all of the things that are happening with you on Instagram, if that happens to be your platform of choice.
Yeah, that's fun when you see that. It creates some nice photos and just liveliness and energy, and yeah. Okay, so we've got our website, and now the next thing is, the mantra to every writer is that email list. You've got to be building an email list. So what's some of the tech around getting started collecting people's email addresses?
So I do recommend, because if you are using Wix, then you can use the functionality that we looked at where people can go in and subscribe to your website. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of that all built in, and it's pretty simple to use. For others, there's also MailChimp, which is a free tool. And I love connecting people with things that they can get started on for free. Because as a new author, you have enough to worry about with everything that you're creating. So you want to have tools that will allow you to start out free. And as you grow, you may need to extend or go up. MailChimp is free for the first 1,000 people that get onto your email list. And then after that, it's a per fee depending on the size of your email list. It's easy to use. If you tend to be somebody that maybe already has more than 1,000, it's not going to be the best tool for you, because it really is for those small creators and small authors. When you start to get a larger list, there is something called MailerLite that I recommend. It is a little more complex to use, but it has so much more functionality, and the price for what you need to as your mailing list grows is pretty amazing. Now, one thing I love, again, is a free course that allows you to learn how to use MailerLite. And one of my favorite gurus in the publishing world is David Chesson. And his kindlepreneur.com, he has created a free MailerLite class, which is fantastic. You can go through it for free and learn how to use MailerLite. So I highly recommend doing that as well.
That's a great tip. So David Chesson, go get his free MailerLite training course.
Yes. Now, and you will find him at kindlepreneur.com. And I'll just take a second to also talk about how can you get people. So, once you have the tech you've got a place where they can go and sign up. How do you get people to go sign up? Make sure that when you are using, when you're laying out your book, at the end of your book, make sure you have a reason for them to go and sign up for your mailing list. Some people will put, a prequel to their book, go and download, or the first 2 chapters of the next book, or some kind of reason for them to act, maybe scan a QR code in the book and go and sign up for your mailing list so they can get some freebies or some discounts or just follow along on your blog and your journey of creating the next book. So come up with a reason for them to do that. And on social media and your communications, whether you are doing videos or you're out at events and on podcasts, make sure people know where they can find your website and give them a reason, whether that's a lead magnet or some sort of thing that they can only get on your website after giving you an email address.
And I often recommend to people to get onto other authors' email lists. Go to their websites. When you're in the stage of creating all this for yourself, then experience what some other people have done. What are their lead magnets? Which ones attracted you? Which ones, made you want to give over your email address? And sometimes those are more complex than you might feel like you have the tech to create at the moment, but then create a downsized version. What would be the first thing that I would create? We're going to talk a little bit about canva.com, but that's where you might be able to create something pretty, something useful, something that goes along with your message or your book, and then offer that through Wix. You would have that option to create like a little opt-in page, a landing page that would then deliver that item via email or open it up in a window where somebody could download it right there, or within any of the other email providers, MailChimp or MailerLite offers that within those systems as well.
That's right. There's also another tool called Story Origin that I really like, and it is one that you can it has a free version as well. And the gentleman who created Story Origin was trying to meet a need in the industry where for authors who have some kind of freebie and they want to build their mailing list, but they lack the technology or the ability to do it themselves. So Story Origin allows you to sign in, and you can upload those freebies and also link it to your email list. So if you have a MailerLite email list, it can actually, when people sign up or download that freebie, they're also opting into your email list. And it allows people also to do cross promotions with other authors, like newsletter swaps and things like that. It's a really cool tool. And even if you went with the full blown version, I think it's under $20 a month to have a little bit of extra stuff. And they even offer some hand holding. If you're having trouble and you need them to help set things up, they will help you. So you're not lost. So you have a little bit of extra. And they have awesome training and little videos. Wherever you are, there's always a little video there to say, if you're stuck, click here, and it just takes you and holds your hand through the process.
So that creates a place for you. Do you promote that page that you create in Story Origin, or is that kind of behind the scenes where Story Origin is providing that to your readers?
Yeah. So for if you're using Story Origin, let's just say you're creating an advanced reader copy of your book, and you want people to be able to go and download it. And you're thinking, I don't know how to do that on my website, and where would I even house it? Story Origin can be used, and it will give you a link that you can then send people to from your website, from your emails, whatever. You have a link that people can go and they can opt in to receive this advanced reader copy. And something that's really cool that Story Origin does is, if you want to be an advanced reader, or you want a review copy, you want to be able
Yeah.
to give review copies. Well, they also remind people to do the reviews, and they'll do the nagging for you. And they also will let you know when people request to get a review copy. If they are part of their ecosystem, they'll let you know what kind of rating that person has. Do they follow up on their reviews or not? Which is really cool. So yeah, so it kind of ties together.
Kind of like Airbnb.
Yeah. So, and then, for people who also have there's Story Origin, there's our social media, there's other things you want to be able to allow people to find you. There is another tool called Linktree. Have you ever heard of Linktree? Okay. So Linktree, take your website information, take all of the things that you have that, go get my advanced reader copy, go here. If you want to check out or sign up for my mailing list, go here. Linktree allows you to put all the information in one link. And then when somebody clicks on it, it shows a nice list of things that they can do and things that you're promoting at the time. So it's a great way to connect all the various little things in one place. Just share one link with people. You can even don't forget, putting things in your email signature is a great way. How many emails do we send and receive every single day? If you have a link tree or you have something specific that will allow people to click on it and have all the information that you have to offer others, it's a great opportunity. And if you want to see that in action, you can go to Self-Pub Made Simple, which is my Instagram, and I'm happy to show you when you actually click on it, it comes up with all the list of things that you can do. Set up a consult with me, go grab some of the freebies that I have available at the time, and go to my YouTube channel. All those things that I don't want to have to spend 3 paragraphs saying you can do this and find me here and do that, and you can just do one link tree and give people all the access that they need to the things that you want to promote.
Yeah, it's perfect for a bio, like a social media bio, especially if you don't have a lot of characters, or quite frankly, you don't want to use a lot of characters because nobody's going to read a lot of characters.
Right.
Then the link tree gives you a one-click access to all the different ways that people might find you. And especially once you start developing a few different resources, or maybe you were a podcast host and then you've got this little download and you want to link over to where you were featured on someone else's YouTube channel, just you can include all of those things so that people don't wonder where you are and how to find you. That's a great tip.
And it's another free tool that you can use. Yes, they have a premium version if you want to make it fancier, but it's free to get started. And these tools, this technology that you can use, that it's not going to charge you anything extra, is always a great find.
Love it. Okay, so we have got our website. We are thinking about how to start collecting emails and engaging with people. And how about when it comes to getting the book itself onto KDP, Amazon? There's some little interior technical stuff in the upload process that can make a big difference to the discoverability of our book. And you've got some amazing tools that you wanted to demonstrate for us that can help us with keywords and categories and some of that back-end stuff that we think, wait a second, I have the title, I have the author, I have the genre. What do you mean keywords and categories? And does that make a difference?
Yes.
And it does make a difference.
It really does. It really does make a difference, because you can set up things in KDP or Ingram Spark or both, which is what I recommend. Mm-hmm. But there's an area where you have 7 keyword line items for you to be able to put information into your book. Now, what I would also say is keywords are how people find your book, find you in your book. So think about it and picture your perfect reader. What kinds of things are they searching for? Because it's those search terms you're going to want to be able to come up for your book. However, there is a trick to it, and there's certainly some things that I can share and show you that will make you that much more prepared in order to do that. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to share right now. Just go to Amazon. So I search for Christian books, and I received over here. I'm going to zoom in so we can see a little bit better here. Hold on. I'm going to zoom in so you can see here that we have, it says 1 to 48 of 70,000 results. So if you use the phrase Christian books in your keywords, and that's all you have there for that particular keyword phrase, then you're going to be competing with 70,000 other people who are also have that book that in their target. They're either listing it on their keywords so that people can find them, or they're going one step farther and they're paying for Amazon ads to target Christian books. Okay, so let's think about Christian books for women. Let's just see. Now that's even worse. It's 100,000.
It's getting worse.
Let's try to. Yeah, what 100,000. So I have this little tool you can see here. That's this is Helium 10. It's one of the tools that is just a little Chrome extension that I've put in. And by the way, everybody that is watching this and uses Chrome should go and get this extension. My internet's a little bit slow, so it's taking a little longer for this to come up. But I will show you some additional information. Right now, this just says competing products, search volume. It's giving you some additional information about this keyword phrase. And in some cases, gives you other keyword options that you can use. So here I see it shows all of the different types of search words that you can get. And the number here is showing me, so Christian books for women, it's roughly 5,742 searches per month. Per month. And right now it's trending down. But we have an opportunity to see all of these different search terms. What we want to do is we want to find terms that are going to be certainly like Christian books for women relationships is only 70 searches a month, right? So if you use this phrase in one of your keyword lists, it's going to it's not being searched very often, right? So we want to pick things that are searched often, but that don't have a lot of competition. And so let's just see Christian books for women, Spanish. Now, if your book is not Spanish, certainly don't use things that are not key
accurate
for you, that are not accurate and relevant to your book, because it won't help you. Amazon can figure that out pretty quickly. Christian books, let's say cozy romance. I don't know. Trying to think of what. So as you try different search terms, you can see the numbers will change here around how many are competing for that category. Now, when I am pulling these things together and going through various different search options, I like to use certain keyword tools. And one of them is KDSpy. It is, this is a extension that I use also that is just a Chrome extension. And what it does is it gives you a list of the books here that we're looking at.
Can you zoom in on the KDSpy a little bit?
Let me see if it can do that.
If not, that's okay.
It's not allowing me to zoom in on that. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Just tell us what we're seeing.
But what I like, what it's doing here is
Mhm.
it's got a keyword. It tells you about how popular the keyword phrase is. It tells you about the potential of that keyword phrase, and then about the competition. So ultimately, we would like to be able to find things that are green, green, green,
Okay.
that have the potential and the other thing I really love about this is it's showing me for this phrase, the average monthly revenue is only $185 a month. These are all of these folks that are using that phrase. So it's low potential, and that's why it's rated red. It also shows you the average price. Now, the other thing that's awesome to be able to look at is all of these terms, these books that are coming up here for the search phrase that you have,
Yeah.
it tells you how much revenue that they're making. So this book, Amish Cozy Mysteries, is $1,247 a month. So if you are looking for some really, let's just say, women's Christian Bible study. Let's see if we can niche down a little bit more there. And let's say that your book is kind of goes into that Bible study, or some others that aligns with this. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm tripping over my words here. So I'm clicking on, so I've got it here. I'm clicking on it. And what does it say? It says this search term is really popular, right? Popularity is great. It has a lot of potential, but it has a lot of competition. So we have to find other ways of maybe taking this word, this search term, Women's Christian Bible Study, and adding some words to it, switching some words around, and maybe coming up with a way that we can lower the competition on it. And I can show you more about that. But what if we organized, if this is what you're going for, what if I clicked on the estimated monthly revenue and I order by this very top one, the Women's Study Bible? They make $44,000 a month on this book. And we can click on that book, and I can do a little bit of research behind the scenes of, let me just see what kinds of things, how do they describe their book? Like, they're doing really well. And if this is in a niche that you are trying to rank in as well, you want to be able to do research, keyword research, and do a good job of getting your book discovered as well. So the KDSpy is something that will help you. It gives you a little bit more information. And then there's another tool that I'll get into that can actually give me the ability to look behind the scenes and see what this book's keywords are. Before I go there, it looks like you had a question, Mindy.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of orient people with why we are doing this, because this is super important, but it also gets you caught in the weeds. Like, you kind of forget, why am I here? And like, just speaking to this example of clicking on the Bible, we are not writing Bibles. So like, the reason this is so popular and the reason that this has that many sales is because it's one of Thomas Nelson's top selling Bibles. So like, in a sense, like, I get the idea of, ooh, this one's making a lot. Let's go investigate this. However, just as an example, that's not the best one because So, because I'm not writing a Bible, I'm just writing a Bible study. I think it was listed under Bible study because there's probably like study questions inside it. That's what I'm guessing. But yeah, click on a book that's just a book that an author wrote that's not the Word of God.
Thank you. Yes. So we've got this one, which was a top-rated women's Bible study workbook. So this might be something that's more in line with what some of your people are doing.
Yeah, definitely.
So why do we care about keywords? Because if you can upload your book to Amazon, and if there's nothing that is helping people find your book, discover your book with keywords, then you're in the sea of millions of books and it won't sell. It just will not sell. So you need to be working on your marketing and driving people to your listing. But the other thing is, if you work on keywords and you understand what keywords are working, you can also gain some organic sales through Amazon. If you have a really good understanding of your perfect reader and what kinds of things that they're searching for, then using those keywords, and if you can use a long tail keyword, that means Christian Bible studies workbooks. Like that's a nice long phrase versus Bible study workbook or just, Bible study. The longer phrases are going to be less competitive. You're going to pay less money for them if you decide to advertise and try to get those phrases indexed for your book. And when people are searching, you want them to be able to find you. And so having good keywords is going to be really important. It also tells Amazon what type of book this is, right? How does Amazon know about your book? They look at the title, they look at the subtitle, they somewhat look at the description, but it's not as critical or important, or I should say as highly relevant as some of these other things. They're going to look at your keywords and they're going to look at your categories, and they take that and they package it up, and their algorithm says, I get it. I know what this is for. And when people are searching for things like your book, they also know that individual and what they like to purchase. And so Amazon will try to match people, and you'll be indexed higher when your book is highly relevant to what they're searching for. It also indexes you higher and makes you a higher priority if somebody searches for the exact term. Let's just say it's Bible study workbook. And when they find your book, they click on it and then they purchase it. Amazon says, aha, that's really highly relevant and it's converting. So it ranks you up a little bit higher, because other people might be, going to different workbooks and just clicking off. So Amazon wants to, number one, serve their customers and give them things that they're going to purchase and that they're going to appreciate, that are highly relevant to what they're looking for. So Amazon, that algorithm is learning more and more about you by the way people search and what they're coming in searching for, and how they find your book and what converts. So all of that is very highly relevant, and it's all related to keywords.
Okay, you've given us the pep talk, April.
Yes,
I thought I was just going to get the book up, but now I need to think carefully about keywords and categories. You have given
one part of marketing for sure.
Yeah. And, at Flourish Writers, we sometimes come up with a little bit of despair that it was such a big achievement to get my book onto Amazon. And I thought people would just find it. And we always say, they're not going to just find it. They're not. It's all the work that you are doing to drive them to it. But if you are careful or thoughtful, use the tools that April is describing to choose keywords and categories that set you up for the possibility for more organic discovery. Why not? Why not invest that little bit of time up front to just be smart about how you're placing the book? And then, do you want to stop? Are you going to talk to the screen share, or do you want to stop screen sharing for just a moment?
So okay. I was going to talk. So I one of the things when you're looking at and researching some of the competitor books, the other tool, the Helium Chrome extension that I have here, allows me, as I scroll down onto any Amazon listing, it allows me to see some extra information on the page that others don't. And one of the things that I can do is I can click on keywords here. So while this is refreshing here, it is taking that book and everything that is indexed in Amazon for that book, and it is showing you all of their keywords. So how many times do we wish if we could just go into what are other people doing? Women's Bible Study, the People's Study Bible, Messy People Bible Study, like all of these words. And what I love about this now, this piece of the tool, just going and downloading Helium Chrome extension, is free. Just get it. You can step up and get a premium version, which allows you to do more searches and more stuff with it. But to have the ability to go back and see not only the terms that are working for this, but how many search volumes, how much search volume is here. Let me see if I can just zoom in a little bit more. So we've got the books here. The terms. And then I'm going to just scroll to, I'm sorry. I went a little bit in too far. So you've got the search volume here. So if we can see things, what their percentage is, it shows the search trend as well. And then as we go over, we see how many competing products are using this search term. Mm-hmm. So we have, are there 10,000 people also competing for this same term? Or look at this, 400 people. Now, does this term apply to you? If not, no biggie, but you've got 500 searches a month and a lot less people searching for that book. This is,
people competing for that book.
Competing for that.
You have a decent number of searches, less competition.
Yeah. And so now when I upgrade and I have the full version of this tool, so what I can do by upgrading is I can say, show me just the things I can filter and say, show me search volume of 350 with no more than 650 competitors. And when I actually am able to apply those filters, this is what I would call, finding those golden keywords that, look at this, 2,558, search volume, 591, less competition, right? What are those things that are less competitive that you can compete with both organically or also with Amazon ads? Because the next step, once you've got the keywords down, is advertising for some of those keywords or targeting some of your competitors' books so that when somebody is looking at that book or browsing or searching for that book, they also see your ad pop up and start getting people more aware of the fact that your book is there, right? We start with awareness. We start with it popping up on ads, and then people get curious. What is this? Maybe I should go and check that out. And then it starts converting. And so Amazon ads is another important area. If you are looking to be more discovered on Amazon, is a great way to do that as well.
So we're going to get to Amazon ads another time, but April is casting the vision for where you're going. If you're just beginning, your first step is merely to you just begin to notice these things. These are things that you never even realized existed. You didn't know people were choosing keywords and categories for their books. Now you do. And these tools, Helium 10, KDSpy, can help you begin to start to look kind of at the back end of how other people in your space have engineered their books for discoverability using the Amazon search engine. So do not get nervous.
Yeah, it is something that is going to be at first very difficult to get your head around, but there are folks like me who are there to help you when you are ready to jump into that and you need help. I'm absolutely wonderful. I would love to be able to chat with you and help you. I do keyword and category analysis for people and help them when they're setting up their Amazon listing or their Ingram Spark listing. And that's one of the services that I can help you with. There's also some great other services that, there are people out there that will do your ads for you. So you don't have to always do it yourself. I'm not one of them, but I can recommend others who do a great job helping authors get that visibility as well.
Tell us about the Alliance of Independent Authors, because I think that's going to be a good place if you're looking for somebody to help you.
The Alliance of Independent Authors is a watchdog group. It is also an association that authors can belong to. I am a partner member of the Alliance of Independent Authors, and I always tell folks that I mentor, if you are considering working with somebody to help you publish or help you with keywords or advertising or any of those things, go and check on their website, because they do vet a lot of people. They have a great partner list of people you can trust. It is also a great association to join. You'll get a lot of benefits, huge amount of things like webinars and all kinds of training, and you get free codes to Ingram Spark that you can use that refresh every month for you. But they are just a wealth of information, and they do have a directory you can download with all of their partner members who are pre-vetted. They did a lot of checking on me and the things that I do before they would even list me as a partner. So it's not just, you pay and you get in. They do a lot of vetting, and it's definitely an association that I trust. That's great.
So that's the Alliance of Independent Authors. If you're looking for a service provider or you've been searching for someone to do XYZ to help you with tech in your author business, check there and see if there's any. Do they also do bad news, good news about people whom you should avoid, or is it mainly good news about?
They do have the, alerts, like avoid these, there's some predatory publishers out there. And that's part of what the Watchdog site does. They'll also do a great job of evaluating awards and telling you which ones are recommended.
Oh, yeah.
In other words, they are created to help the author and give the author benefits versus some of them that are more to line the pockets, unfortunately, of people creating the awards, right? So they have a list of awards and they rank them red, yellow, green. They give you information about what their research has found and why they recommend or don't recommend the award. So when you're trying to figure out where to put your money towards applying for certain awards, that's a great place to go as well with the Alliance of Independent Authors. And you can even just Google Alliance of Independent Authors award recommendations. And you'll see the list that they pull together.
That's great. Super helpful. Because like April and we don't want you to get caught out getting scammed with stuff. When you start getting into the tech and just into, I'm wanting to begin to outreach, to begin to build that community around my message and find people and gather people. I want to collaborate with people. Like it's a whole new world, and you're trying to orient yourself and just figure out what's important to spend my time on, to spend my brain cells on, and my dollars on. And so these are just some of the resources that can help you to be smart about that. Reach out to April, get into the Flourish Writers community, find people that you trust that you can ask. I just want to circle back around quickly to keywords and categories, because it occurred to me that we did not mention #1 new release and #1 bestseller.
I was just going to say that there is, talking about discovery, one of the ways that you can be discovered is by getting that #1 new release badge or bestseller badge, right? As people are scrolling through, it's just human nature that when you see one of those, you stop and you want to pay attention to it. So I'm going to share with you a tool that I use, and I absolutely recommend. And again, it's not free, but it is a low-cost tool that you, as an author, if you are going to be producing multiple books, then you are going to want to have this tool. It is so valuable. So this is called Publisher Rocket. Again, it is a Dave Chesson tool. He is one of my favorite gurus. He's created this tool to help you. You can see here there is keyword search. There's also competition analyzer. But the one area that I really want to focus on, which is I think what it does the best, is category search. So I'm going to click here. And we're going to type the word Christian, or maybe we'll type Bible study. Let's see. It's going to, I should mention while this is refreshing and my computer is a little slow today, the tool itself is less than $100 and it's a one-time purchase, and you never have to upgrade or pay any kind of monthly fee. So that's what I love. I've had this tool probably for 5 years now, and so often I come in here and it's like, oh, we got new features. We're going to go, and it updates, and then I don't have to pay anything extra. So I love that versus, monthly fees and lots of spending on a tool.
Yeah, and he keeps growing it. Like it just gets smarter and smarter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I'll just mention as I come up into this piece over here, there's a little flag. I'm looking at USA, but I can also look at UK and Germany and be looking at their categories. And I know he's going to continue to build this out. I'm looking forward to Canadian categories and Australia because I've got authors in those markets as well. But for now, we're just going to go into the US categories, and I'm going to just type the word Christian. So I've got every single Amazon category. Let's see how much I can zoom in on this. Not that much. So I have every single Christian category. Anything with the word Christian in it is here. Now, yes, I could just kind of go through and scroll and see whether my book compares. But the other beauty of this tool is it's got a column here that says sales to number 1. I can just order it by the least sales to number 1. So now start with, there's a number of categories we're looking at right here. That's 1 sale to number 1, 2 sales to number 1, 3 sales to number 1. And you would be surprised how many people have no idea that these categories exist. Now, I should say, when you set up your book on Amazon, you can choose 2 categories. So you pick from these BIZAC codes, which aren't even these categories. You can't even see these categories in what Amazon gives you to choose from. You pick a BIZAC code and it kind of crosswalks it into the categories that it belongs to on Amazon. Now, you have the ability to add a total of 10 categories, but most people don't even know that. But you have to submit a ticket, and you have to ask Amazon to add, and you have to provide the whole link. Can you please add these 8 more categories to this ASIN or identifier, this ISBN on my KDP? And they will go and add it. So I highly recommend you find 8 more categories. Take advantage. Yeah. Now remember, you get 10 Kindle categories, you get 10 print book categories. So paperback if you're doing Amazon KDP. So that's 20 categories you can be listed in. And if you also go through and find, say, 3 or 4 that are low competition categories, and then mix it with really highly relevant categories that are more competitive, but it's very highly relevant to your book, fantastic. But you can come here and you can go through, let's see, all of these low competition categories, and you can search by the word. So if we did, let's just say Bible studies, let's see what it's going to find with Bible studies. So nothing here with Bible studies. Let's just see the word.
What does that mean? Bible. Nothing is there.
That means that word that we just searched for in this is not found in the string of categories, meaning as a category, Bible study, it wasn't found, although I see it here, which is odd. Let me just see. Maybe did I misspell
were you
it?
too far in on the thread, maybe?
Oh, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So I just did Bible study, and then I am putting the lowest number of sales to number 1. And by the way, there's also shows you the number of sales to number 10. So that means, some of them, it might have a high number of sales to number 1, but it's very easy to rank on the first page.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still see all of these, 4 sales, 10 sales, 14 sales to number 1. And this one here, it's 14 sales, and this is Old Testament Bible study. So 14 sales to number 1. A study and reference of prophets, 14 sales. What is this? Old Testament commentaries. So is your Bible study focusing on commentaries? Then that's only 10 sales to number 1.
And that's sales within a 24-hour period, right?
It is within a 24-hour period.
Any 24. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's, and every 15, is it 15 minutes or every hour? I've heard conflicting things, but as it's being updated, let's say it's every hour, Amazon goes out and recalculates. So it's 24 hours from that hour. And then in another hour, it backs up at a look back period of 24 hours. So you could be a bestseller for an hour, but the goal is to keep that bestseller. So as you are thinking about launching your book, you want to have it in the 10 categories. You will be a number 1 new release in more than one category, very likely, just by the nature of doing your analysis up front, and then also making sure that you are driving, maybe you have a launch team or you're driving sales, and you're also doing marketing that is going to drive people to purchase on Amazon.
Because it can begin to feel a little pointless, like all I'm doing is gaming the system, and you are gaming the system, and it's not going to make or break your book, but it's just like when you're layering on all the little marketing things you're doing, just all the little parts, it just adds up. And it's like one more thing that can just drive discoverability. So I don't want people to get like too paranoid, hung up about it. I didn't launch as a number 1 new release or number 1 bestseller. Mm-hmm. Well,
I agree.
It doesn't mean the end of your book, and you may as well go home and just curl up in a ball and cry. No, it's just, well, then let's look at what we can tweak.
Yes. And I do, a lot of people come to me and say, my book's not selling. What can I do? And I look at those things that, do they have the right keywords? Do they have the right categories? How's their cover? How's their description? How does it compare with their niche? If it's quite different and doesn't kind of fit in with what people expect from the niche, then it might be even something as simple as that can throw things off. So I kind of do help people with a little bit of an audit and a fresh pair of eyes. And I will say, when you do that, when you find somebody to do that for you, you want somebody that's going to be there to tell you the truth, and they can do it with love. That's my philosophy, but I always want to be truthful to you. And I've had to go back to people and say, let's rework that cover because I don't think it's doing any justice for the quality that you have inside. If people don't click on your cover, they're never going to discover your book. I might look at the interior or look inside and see that it's not really professionally laid out very well. Mm-hmm. So I might recommend they go back and take care of those things. But then we do keywords and categories. And sometimes it looks perfect, but it's just not being discovered. So we'll look at potentially running ads to it and getting those going so that we can actually start things moving, especially with the holidays coming. It's going to be an important thing to start building momentum now if your book is something you're hoping will sell for the holidays.
Yeah, absolutely. Like get it all in order. And I love that question. My book isn't selling. What can I do? A lot of you here listening, you're not even there yet. You're like, I just want to get my book up. I just want to get it written. we're all on these different stages of this continuum. I love what you've done, April, because you've said, here are some little things that you can do to start getting in place. And let me show you, like those of you who are here, you have a book out there that's not selling. You're like, bring it on. I'm ready for this because you've conquered the other little hills on the way to the mountain. And those of you who are not there yet, just take a deep breath and say, okay, no, this is cool because I know where to go to. I've got somebody who's got my back. I can ask questions. I know that I have resource people who are going to be honest with me and help me. Like you invest all that vision, hope, time, passion, and longing into your message. And don't let it be these little silly things that just need to be organized correctly to be what's stopping the message getting out there. There's no kind of secret, oh, I just need to find the secret way of selling millions of my books. No, but it's all the little things when you just get them attended to and somebody's eyes on it who knows what to look for, to do that audit. And then little tweaks can make a big difference. So
absolutely. And collaboration and partnership and, getting into a community like yours that really helps people to focus on what's right, and they can connect with other like-minded authors. They can cross-promote. Building relationships is so important when you're in the writing stage and when you're just getting ready to launch your book. And I do have lots of videos on my YouTube. If you're wanting to get into more information about keywords, categories, other marketing efforts, I've got over 200 videos. My YouTube channel is all free. Just go there, search for whatever topic, and you can also find information there to connect with me. And the YouTube channel is Self-Publishing Made Simple with April Cox.
Self-Publishing Made Simple with April Cox. We've had quite a number of Flourish writers be so thrilled that they found you, and you offer, reliable and accessible information. This has been so fantastic. We've gone from website to email to publishing and so many helpful tools. Thank you for dispelling the myths, giving us places to go, people to talk to, just even knowing what questions to ask so that we are empowered as authors to feel like we can find our way. It is not a big, messy morass. There are guides who know the paths through the bog.
And it's my honor to share that with you. And thank you so much for having me. This was really great.
It was super fun, April, very illuminating. And thank you for being here with us, where we're all about seeing you flourish in your writing life, one story at a time. Bye for now.